Hello world, Ijoma O'Neill is my name. I've reached a point in my life where I'm looking back and thinking to give back what I thought I should have had. All my life, I wish I had someone who talked to me, held my hands through the stages. I would have done better than I did right now. And so I think I owe it back to my younger self to have a conversation. And the Onpurpose podcast gives me that platform. While talking to my younger self, you're listening to our conversation. And I believe it can help you wherever you are in your 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s. I'm 52 right now. And I intend to talk this way as I get old. So the seasons will change. The conversations will get more intense. But I know that I've lived enough to give you certain nuggets that will help you in your life, building your faith, building your career, building a loving family, making you healthy, and also investing wisely. I hope that you follow us through this conversation on the Onpurpose podcast and it will be useful to you. God bless you. Hello and welcome to the Onpurpose podcast. Ijoma O'Neill here with you. And today's episode, I want to talk about something that will be useful to all of us. I say all of us, talking from my own experience. I grew up in a family. Let's leave it at that because so much to say in that one statement. But I had a desire to build my own family completely different from the kind of family where I was raised. I didn't have an example for a father or a mother, but I believe it's because when I got saved, I knew God's plan for the family and the critical place that the family stands in God's agenda. God wants to reach the world, but primarily through the family. So Adam was given a garden and was given a help suitable who happened to be Eve. And God's plan was that they will replicate the order in the garden all around, such that with time, everywhere else will be as cultivated, as perfect, as loving, as decent as the primary garden that God gave to them as a prototype. And so there's a partnership between the man and the woman for dominion. My definition of marriage is that marriage is a God-ordained leadership partnership between a man and a woman as husband and wife for the purpose of dominion. Holding that definition in your head is very important for you to identify how the man and the woman work together to build that kind of family. And if we go to school, we're never taught, we're prepared in the school to work in a company. We're hardly prepared in the school to be rich or to build our lives. So it's important that we have tools that will help us do that. So I will run you through what I call the levels of leadership development for building a kingdom family. A kingdom family is actually a purposeful family, and this is God's procedure. In the garden, he said to them to be fruitful, number one, to multiply, number two, to replenish the earth, number three, to subdue it, and then to have dominion, number five. So these 5 levels, I have been able to piece them out as levels of leadership development. And leadership, like I told you, is God's strategy for dominion and it's applicable to everything. I've talked about leadership in politics. I've talked about leadership and entrepreneurship. And now I'm bringing leadership to the home. And this episode will have 2 parts. The first part, I would focus on the male, the man's leadership of the family, which means a man in leading his home is supposed to also lead through these 5 levels. And he needs to know that so that he can know exactly what his assignment is. And whether he leads or not will be up to him. So in this episode, my job is to take you through the process of building a purposeful family. It starts with the first level of leadership, and that is leading yourself. Yourself, which is the personal level of leadership as a man. Your first goal, if you want to build a purposeful family, your first goal is to lead yourself. And so this is becoming the man. Becoming that purposeful man. Because you are the foundation upon which that entire household family is going to be built. So the first level of leadership of the family is the man, leading the man, leading the man. That's number one. To lead the man, you need to have a sense of direction, which is the vision, where you are going. Okay. You need to exercise leadership over yourself by being very disciplined, having self-control over your own life. This has nothing to do with any other person. It's just you. I'll go further into details when I talk about different aspects of leadership. But first of all, is to lead the man. Number two is to lead the marriage. So this is becoming the husband. In leading the man, you're becoming a purposeful person. The second level of leadership is how you lead or get along with your spouse. And so while the first level is becoming a man and is built on personal discipline or self-control, the second level is becoming a husband. Remember, a family starts with an individual. From the individual, you have the marriage. From the marriage comes the family that affects society. So I'm taking it one by one. So the first is leading yourself, becoming the man. The next is leading your spouse, which is becoming a husband. Now, if you have this rule in your head that I am a man first, and then I am a husband. Now, the responsibility of being a husband is different from the role of being a man. Because in the marriage, the most important thing is adaptation. It is getting along. It is understanding the needs and peculiarities of your spouse. And I'm saying this, hoping that you chose first a woman. Because if you're a man and you marry a girl, and you understand what I mean by that, then you're going to have problems. But if you are a well-led man and you marry a woman, then the second level is becoming the husband, getting along, adapting to your spouse. People's spouses are different. So the Bible even counsels that husband dwell with your wife according to knowledge. The third level is to become the leader of the home. So you see, the first level is about you. The second level is about your relationship with your spouse. But the third level is about the organization of the home, which is becoming the leader of that home. The role of the man in the family is the head of the family. So he has to be the leader of the family. To be the leader of the family, he means that he's the one that sees the direction the family is going. He's the one that has the responsibility to guide the family through points of transition, navigating to the end, becoming the leader. You must have clarity of vision. You must know how to organize the system called your home. As a matter of fact, you have to see the home before you live in the home, so that you understand every tiny details and how things should work. So he is the man. Number one. The second level, he is the husband. He's the one that adapts and gets along. And now he is the leader. Number four, he is the father. This is leading your children. You see, these different layers of leadership have different expectations and rules for each. So what it takes to be a man is different from what it takes to be a husband. And it's different from what it takes to be a leader of that home. And now what it takes to be a father to your children. Many men just live cultivating relationship with their children to the woman. You must become the father. The father sources the household. To father a house, you must have the virtues of a father, and then finally becoming the patriarch, which is the fifth level, becoming the patriarch, the standard for family. And now we're dealing with you having generations of family, which means at this level, you have not only led yourself, you have led your wife, you have led your home, you have led your children, and now your children themselves have become leaders of their home, and you are still involved. A patriarch is one who is an icon of family standards for generations. It is one thing that inspired me to change my surname. My wife bears my name as her surname, my first name as her surname. And the reason for me, you don't go and do that, please. I'm not recommending that, but I'm just saying. My wife's name is Demi O'Neill. That O'Neill there is my first name because I didn't see anything I wanted to carry on. I could not identify with that way of being as family. But I want to live my life in such a way that generations down will be proud that I set a good standard so that my children and children's children will make reference to that name, not just for material wealth, but for godly values. This is quite short because I'll be doing the other side, talking to the men, to the women, sorry. So if you're a man, know that you have 5 roles in leadership in your family, and that is the man, the husband, the leader, the father, and the patriarch. I'll see you on the second episode. God bless you.